Welcome back to Edric Putin and Company, the podcast where anybody can inspire everybody. Now, joining us this week, we've got Erik Cheong, who is the APAC CEO of OMNI Costa Rica. Now, OMNI is a super lifestyle app from ride sharing to delivery routes and to building a super lifestyle app. Eric's going to show us how it's done. So you're serving stay-home notice in Shangri-La?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, tomorrow I'll do my swab test, and then on Wednesday I'll be out. Yeah.
Fantastic, man. Hey, how in the hell, right, is Costa Rica?
The region is a very interesting market. The whole Central America is basically a very untapped, and a lot of Asian entrepreneurs, I would say, have a very blind spot in that market, basically. Because I think a lot of Asian entrepreneurs are talking about like Southeast Asia, Europe, US, but Central America is really just really an untapped market. But Costa Rica alone itself is not enough because they only have like 6 million population. It's a bit like Singapore. But then with Central America total, they have 95 million population. So yeah, so that's why I'm there, because it's full of opportunity.
Let's just get into this. For those who are listening in, right? Maybe you could also just share a little bit more about what OMNI is, because I don't think we have that in Singapore yet.
Sure. So OMI position ourselves as the first super app in Central America and the Caribbean area. We actually follow the playbook of like Grab and Gojek. So we actually started with micro mobility. Started with a bike sharing platform where we heavily acquire user very quickly, and then we move into fintech, which is the QR payment, e-wallets, where we allow people to actually pay the bikes through QR scanning and so forth. And then we actually expanded our mobility arm. We moved into taxi. Instead of private hires car like Uber and Grab or even like Gojek, we focus on only licensed taxi, because especially in Central America, like it's illegal to drive a Uber or like Grab.
Oh.
If the police catch you, they're gonna like seize your car, confiscate your license. And during COVID, right, the government actually in place a policy. The only mode of transport after 9 p.m. is actually taxi only. Private hires are not allowed in the car, and basically you cannot travel after 9. So that gives us an advantage as compared to companies like Uber and Didi in Central America. And then after which we move on to QR payments into merchants. We actually work with supermarket, restaurants, and retail to actually push up QR payment, because most of the transaction happen 60 to 70% between cash, and the balance 30% are through credit card. And then credit card, the charges are really, really high. It can be as low as 5% all the way to 13%.
Wow.
Yeah. In Asia, basically when we charge 3%, right, it's already very high for a lot of merchants. People are squeezing down to 2 point something or even net 2. In Costa Rica, lowest is around 5, the highest is around 13%. At this current moment, we're moving into e-commerce as well, a lifestyle. We actually invested in a startup $10 million to create this online platform where we help retailers in shopping malls to sell online, like helping brands like Nike, Zara, Adidas to sell online. Because COVID situation, many people are not traveling now. They can go to our platform to actually check like the available size, available color. If they want, they can book, make a reservation, go down to the store, pick up, pay and pick up. That's all. Or if let's say they don't even want to step up, they actually can place a delivery to pick up from the store and send it directly to their doorstep. And now we're moving into healthcare, because as you know, like telehealth is very popular right now. Many people do not want to step out or visit the hospital because it increases the chance of them getting like infected by already infected COVID patients. So a lot of people like to do video calls to see doctors for general consultation, like like a normal flu, headache and so forth. So that's the 4 main vertical: mobility, fintech, lifestyle, and healthcare. We actually even started a lifestyle channel. It's called OMI Session as well. It's basically like a TikTok, but we create our own content like music and so forth, so that people during the lockdown, they actually can view our OMNI session during that period. And then we work with brands to actually do co-branding as well at the session itself.
Very clever. You're keeping everybody in the app. You don't exit the app. You want everybody to interact and stay within it and even be entertained within the app. I see. Then on your end, right? You are the CEO of APAC. Now, what are the plans to bring Omni to the region? I mean, at the end of the day, like people you've mentioned, TT, you got your WeChats and your Gojeks and all that. So how are you bringing the fight to these guys when you come into APAC?
Sure. So for us, right, we try not to fight because we know that these are all the giants like Didi, Uber, Grab, Gojek. So what we do, there's two approach, right? First approach is actually we look at a solution that are already very mature and very popular in Southeast Asia to bring from hardware and software perspective to Central America and apply it. That's one. Then reverse, for example, like if we are doing things in Southeast Asia, we are doing things that are more I would say more deep tech and frontier of the technology. So in Singapore or in Southeast Asia, we're actually trying to introduce like a EV sharing platform focusing on motorbikes, because we realize that actually there is a company like Blue SG that focus on EV for car sharing, but there is no EV bike sharing, as in not bicycle, but more like motorcycles where we require a license. And there are actually many EV scooter platform already happening in the world. For example, like Gogoro from Taiwan, Neo from China, they're actually introducing this bike sharing platform. So yeah, so that's the how we play. So wherever there is very mature in terms of software hardware, we'll bring it into Central America. Things that are new trend, new environment. We would like to launch that in like places like Singapore, where we can see like a pilot project, a test bed for us.
Right. How are you going to be bringing those mopeds, right, to a little bit more stricter law-abiding countries, or at least law-making countries like Singapore?
First of all, I need to clarify the mopeds or the motorcycle that we are introducing are all licensed. The driver require a license, a motor license to actually drive that, and they cannot anyhow park the bikes at any point, anywhere they want, because it's different from the PMDs and etc. These are equivalent to a car. You cannot just park it anywhere because you will get fined. Right. If you speed, you will get demerit points. So that's the first issues that we highlighted, we saw, and so means this is more of a regulated environment and more controlled. Everyone require a license, and not like someone like below 18, they can even drive a PMD. So that's one. Secondly, yes, the regulations are really, really very strict in terms of implementing all these EV. Even big companies like Tesla are facing issue here. So we are working very closely with local regulators to actually set up standards, and also introducing this technology to them to make them understand and also create like sandbox to actually launch this product.
When are we expecting to get these mopeds in Singapore?
We are trying our very best right now to work with regulators to actually see how we can come out with like a standard, a framework, a sandbox to launch this in phases. So we don't see ourselves launching like 5 bikes in one shot. We're launching like a lesser to see on a more of a test environment as well.
Hey, let me ask your opinion on something. I mean, based on what we're talking about right now, right? Which is a better choice for you? Country with less infrastructure but easier regulation versus country with great infrastructure and very, very tight regulations?
I've been to both sides of the region, right? Now I prefer Untapped for sure, because Untapped is full of opportunity, regulations are lesser, it's easier. Recently I did a linking post as well. I'd rather serve a Untapped market, that's a really new, rather than going to a very mature market. If I was given a choice, like either or, I would choose an undeveloped country. But why we actually have these thoughts of having it in Singapore is because, right, we wanted to really know the technology and also try as a environment stage here to see how EV is being adopted in countries like Singapore.
Right, and I think it also helps that this is your backyard as well.
Exactly, yeah. So exactly, Singapore is still my home, right? My home ground. So definitely I wanted to do something here as well.
How old are you, by the way?
31.
Dude, I'm 37. So you're 31, right? Now, you're
Yes.
31 years old, you're a CEO, all right,
Uh-huh.
of an entire region. But take this back a little. When and where did you start out your working career?
Yeah, so actually I started working my career when I was 22. So actually I was one of the youngest stockbroker in Singapore actually at 22 years old. And then after I finished my career there for 3 years, I realized that I want to do something on my own. So I left the industry around 25 years old. I started my very first business in hospitality. Actually, I run a backpacker hostel and actually turned around the business in 18 months and sold it away. And so that's the first time I experienced entrepreneurship. But I told myself I need to venture into something not brick and mortar, because at that point of time, they have companies like Far East, City Development, nice hotel, 5-star. So it's very high capex, high OPEX, high competitive. So I told myself I need to move myself into a business that is low capex, technology, platform based, things like Airbnb, like Grab, where we meet match demand and supply. So that's how actually I started Part and Parcel in 2016. I started a platform with my two other founders to actually started this platform to meet the demand and supply of missing parcels. Because we realized that people like to shop online, but when it comes to parcel collection, it's always a pain point. Not at home, working, busy running errands. So we actually created like an Airbnb of collection point around Singapore and become actually the largest collection point by 2018. That's how I got myself nominated as the Forbes 30 under 30 in 2019, and also become one of the Alibaba e-founders in 2019 as well. Yeah, with that experience, I kind of influenced me to think much bigger, like want to create a company like Alibaba, a super app. So that's how the OMNI opportunity arise, because I have that mind, after that training and training in Suzhou, that really changed my mind and say, hey, I want to build something like, like Alibaba, like Alipay. You can pay everything through the application. You can buy insurance. You can pay for your trips. Something like Tencent as well, where you can make communication. You can do digital payments as well. And then I met my founders from Costa Rica. They shared with me about the stats like population, the GDP and everything. I was like, hey, this is the place I want to be, like to apply this super app concept over there. Yeah, so that's the whole journey that I've come so far since 22 years old. So now around 9 years. Yeah.
So when you started out your first business, right? What was the motivation behind that? Is it because you were like, hey man, this is a way to make money and get rich? What is it?
It was actually by an opportunity. Because what we actually left so when we joined the industry, right? Okay, it's like we realized that we don't really create value through my industry, because I was an equity dealer.
Right.
So I buy and sell shares from Hong Kong, Singapore, US. It's all about trading. I wanted to create a business that can value add, like create like affordable hostel business for people, for students from Cambodia, Vietnam. When they are here for student exchange, they wanted a place, like at $30, 30 Sing dollars for a night with breakfast, clean bed sheet, clean room. I wanted to do like create a value, create a branding in the hospitality industry. And of course, we spend a lot of effort doing a lot of renovation and ID to make it like a very co-living space kind of environment for people to feel that, hey, they are paying something $30, but they're enjoying like a premium in the space. So that's the whole idea came about, and was really by opportunity, because at that point of time, the seller was actually going to retire, and that's why he decided to sell that business. And the location of the hostel is really a very well placed hostel. It's actually like right in front of a Little India MRT station, which is like a 3 walks. So to me, I was like, hey, I think this is hotel is all about location, right? Like near train station, near like a popular tourism area. So immediately I say, hey, I need to do this opportunity. and turn around the business. Yeah, so that's how it all started. And through the first business, I actually we learned a lot as well, because there's a lot of roadblocks along the way. Like what I mentioned, like capex, opex. I even like changed bed sheet myself during one point of time, because my manager was on sick leave, so he didn't came for work, and then we have to change the bed sheet together with my founders as well. So was really tough, but that's the thing that I learned is for every business, the number one thing that you have to fix is HR. Human resource is the key for all businesses. You have to retrain them, have to educate them, and create that kind of culture that they believe that the business is actually part of it's not their job, they are part of the business. If they don't do well, it doesn't only reflect on the business, but also reflect on them.
So how did you bring all of that from a brick and mortar, right, into the technology aspect of Park and Parcel?
Yeah, so for brick and mortar, you realize that you can't really compete, with like property giants that has been here for decades. So the only way is to introduce technology to increase the efficiency, increase the revenue streams, and reduce operation costs. So then I thought the only thing that will work, right, is actually technology. Because why? When I started the stockbroking as well, right, everyone was calling, all my clients start calling and say, hey, place a trade, buy and sell. But I realized at the end of my career, right, around the last 3 years, right, people don't really call anymore.
Right.
People actually buy and sell through DIY. So you can see that with that 3 years, I realized, hey, yeah, it's actually technology has already been part and parcel of our life. People are moving from manual calling to online trading. Even for my business as a hostel, I list my listing on actually Airbnb as well. Through Airbnb, we actually generate a lot of traffic into the business, and made me realize, hey, again, technology help the business again, to go to another stage, and it's already evolving. So I told myself the third one, right, I need to start something that is technology based. Yeah.
Then after that, so eventually you've kind of been bitten by the technology bug, huh?
Yes, yeah. And then because of this technology, I realized that this is a sector that I want to be in. I work really hard to even like when I started Buy and Parcel, we are never in the trade. I don't have zero experience in logistics. But we learn along the way. We talk to a lot of players like Singpost, DHL, FedEx, and etc. What we learn is actually to be very thick-skinned, because when we actually first approached Singpost in 2016, they rejected us. They say, hey, this idea is not going to work and everything. We tried to re-approach them in 2017. They rejected us again. They said that, hey, your collection point network is too small. It's only 500. And then like in 2018, we reached again. I say we came back with like 2,000 collection point. And then that's the point where they say, yes, I want to work with you guys. But through these 3 attempts, we actually realized that we better understand what they're looking for as like a pioneer industrial player as well. So I would say, this is a very steep learning curve for us, but it's through trial and error. Yeah. So that's the whole thing. Because when you build a technology company, right, you need to understand the operation flow as well. Because if you don't understand operation flow, you can't understand the pain point that our partners are facing, and they don't see the value add. Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. I mean, so in this case, I mean, based on that journey, I mean, again, you're only 31 years old, right? Do you even consider yourself a serial entrepreneur right now?
I would say that I have hustle enough. Yeah, we have hustle enough. Through the brokering industry to hospitality to log tech and now super app. I have seen enough. I have seen how technology change. To be very honest, like if you are talking about like Grab 5 years ago, right, or even like 6 years ago, when it first launched, many people are like just very skeptical, like, hey, I'm not going to ride a taxi, a stranger's car, and so forth. They're not professional drivers. And now you have seen, like, Grab is like a daily services in everyone's life. And you don't even see people flagging taxi now on the street. Yeah, I mean, I was given like a opportunity as well through the Alibaba program to see how China has really changed, over the last 10 years, how a company like Alibaba grow from, almost bankrupt to $1 billion company right now.
So what inspires you to start a business? I mean, is it about the money? Is it about the idea that I could do better? Or at least I can see what this guy is doing, but I can do it better? Or is it the fact that you just want to do something new? Were you one of those kids that just couldn't sit still in class and you just needed to do something, right?
Okay, I think the enjoyable part that so first of all, making money, I think, is part and parcel of all businesses. But I think the thing that really keep me awake all night is when I see users use our platform. Like when I go to shopping mall, when I go to a F&B outlet, I see people are using QR to pay for their bills, and that actually make me feel very contented, and make me realize that actually I'm helping both the users and the businesses as well. Because giving you an example, like because of COVID, right, a lot of businesses in Central America, or I'll say globally, right, especially F&B has affected like 30 to 50%. People cannot dine in as regularly as possible. Many businesses are looking at how to cut costs, in order to survive. They can talk to landlord to reduce rent, but operation-wise, like removing 5 to 13% of the commission they have to pay to the banks, to Visa, Master, it's something that is really very very helpful to them at this moment, because every dollar they save will help them to last the business longer. So that's the thing that keep me awake, and I can see that users are really amazed when they pay in QR. It's like, hey, it's actually that easy, that fast. Why would I want to use cash, carry coins, carry notes? Where it's so straightforward. So that really helped me a lot, especially for myself. When I launch a product, I like to be on the ground to see both the merchants and the customer reaction as well. So that really excite me when I launch a product. Now, of course, on this side, end of the tunnel, we want to make money as well, right? Like more users taking our rides, more user paying QR, more people using our bikes. I think on my LinkedIn post again, I post, like on a weekend when I was traveling, I saw like people are traveling in groups or in our bikes, like 10 people riding the bikes to travel for their last mile. That actually kind of excite me, because I know that I'm introducing a product that people are willing to pay and solving a pain point. You see, at the same time, I make money. At the same time, I'm solving a problem that people are facing. So I think it's a mixture. It's a mixture of both making a profitable company, at the same time introducing something that can really help people, especially untapped market. Yeah.
So I assume that that's the fundamental of the plan of starting any business, right? Make sure that you're solving a global problem if you can, and also you are able to make money from that.
Exactly. But of course, for a startup perspective, I learned as compared to traditional business, is a traditional business since day one they want to make money. Like like they buy with $1, they want to sell at $2. But for technology business, it's a bit different. We focus a lot on the growth. Like what's the hyper growth that we can, how many users we can get, how many return trips we can get from our taxi, how many times the users are paying in QR, how much money they are keeping in their e-wallet. These are the other consideration that we have other than just making money. We want to capture the habit of the user. As you know, like data is the key, right? It's the new commodities now in this industry. Data is actually more powerful than anything, because with data I can know that what's your favorite hobby, what's the favorite things that you like to buy, what's your spending habit, how can I do recommendation, to be a very targeted marketing as well. Yeah, so that's the difference between like traditional company and like a technology company. But of course, in the lights of Uber and other company, like loss making now is something that is very sensitive to investors, because investors now are looking beyond just revenue. They are also looking at how long for you to be sustainable, like to be profitable and etc. Yeah, so I think now being an entrepreneur is different from previously. You just have to pump the revenue, like work on the sales. Don't care how much you spend on the sales, but you just have to do advertisement, get sales done. But now you have to balance. You have to balance, because you can't just spend like $100 to just earn $1. You need to be really balanced, and you need to test to say, okay, I spend like $5, I can earn $1, or I spend $5, I can get back $3. So these are the things that you have to weigh, because investors are also looking into this. They're getting very sophisticated right now. So we as an entrepreneur, we also have to think not just from the revenue perspective, but also from the profitability perspective as well.
Right. Yeah. So if, let's say, for example, just to tap on the knowledge that you have, and share some wisdom with our listeners, if, let's say, we could, well, for people like me, you'll have to dumb it down for me. How would you be able to kickstart any business in 3 steps?
First of all, I think it's very important to form a team. That's the first thing, because
don't do it alone, you're saying.
A person cannot be all-rounder, okay? So, I can be good at fundraising, I can be good at BD, but operations, or more detailed guy is maybe another person, So you cannot be all-in-one. You cannot be like doing everything yourself. So you better form a team, whether is it from a perspective of a founder or like a team member that can help you. Yeah, so that's the forming a team. That's number one. Number two, you have to take action. Whatever idea you have, I think you just have to carry out in an MVP way. For example, you have an idea now, you just go and create a video and place it on Facebook, Instagram, to see the feedbacks from your friends, from the public, to see, hey, this is a good idea, bad idea. And then from there, you move on to the next MVP. You build the website and try, is there any paying customer? Because the numbers don't lie, right? If you create a platform and people are willing to pay, means people see value in the solution that you have. And then the next question you need to move on is the value that you're creating that huge, that more people are paying, are more willing to pay, or it's just a very narrow a group of people are only willing to pay. Okay. So second thing will be taking action. Yeah, and lastly, it's you have to learn fast as well. For example, if you're going to a trade, if you're in finance and you go into a fintech platform, yes, you have the advantage. But if you're going into a green field, like from me, from fintech to logistics, you just have to be very thick-skinned to keep pitching your idea to the industrial players or people with a very like 20 years, 30 years in the logistics, because they will give you comments, like, hey, this you're doing not wrongly and etc. It's okay for them to comment. To me, it's like it's a growth hack, to learn from the expert, because the expert has 20 years experience and now they're giving me feedback that I can't have unless I also spend my time, 20 years of my time in the logistics. So yeah, you just have to keep throwing ideas and don't be afraid like people copy your idea. That's the last thing, because I always believe in execution. Yeah, like if you ask me honestly, like Grab and Gojek, what's the difference? They all started from ride-hailing platform, but end of the tunnel, it's who can execute better and who actually pivot to a real super app. Yeah.
So just to summarize that, the 3 steps were: number 1, form a team; number 2, take action; and number 3, be thick-skinned.
Yes, be thick-skinned. Yeah, be thick-skinned just to keep learning, and even till now, like I'm also learning as well. So when I launch different product, that's the reason why I like to be on the ground, because there's a culture difference as well. You see, like in Asia, in Central America, without being on the ground, I do not understand. Like how can I roll out the product. Giving you an example, when we actually roll out the QR payment in Central America, I didn't roll out like to the locals. I focus on the Chinese merchant. Because the reason why I started with a Chinese merchant is because the Chinese will have basic knowledge about what is WeChat Pay. They have cousins, they have families about WeChat, Hongbao, where they can transfer QR payments and etc. So when I went into the market, I introduced a QR payments to the local. They have no clue what I'm talking about. They have zero experience. They haven't seen this. First thing they have in mind is this like a scam? Is it a fraud? But when I introduced the Chinese was like, hey, why didn't you guys come earlier? We need this. Yeah, we are waiting for this QR payment because in China, they keep explaining to me back in China is already done. That we are already doing this.
Nobody carries cash anymore, lah.
Exactly. Like they say, hey, why until now then we push out the QR. So I think it's very important to learn and also be on the ground. Then you realize, okay, where you choose to pick a battle. Because if I continue to stay just introducing into the locals, it will be a very upslope battle for me.
Right. And then during your entire process, being an entrepreneur, you've mentioned several times already, you have to be thick-skinned. But have there ever been times, right, whereby you yourself also get caught that, oh man, am I going through imposter syndrome? Can I do this? Am I really this person?
Yes. I always get that. I always get that. Okay, so I think as an entrepreneur, there's a like an up and down day. The up day for me is like we hit new milestones, like getting like 100 merchants, 200 merchants. Every time we have a milestone, so in my culture, right, we actually have this gong in the office. Every time we hit a milestone, we will hit the gong and say, hey, we crossed the 500 merchants, we crossed the 1,000 merchant. That's the up day. The down day is sometimes, we face problem with like merchants complaining to us to say, hey, they can't do this, there's some error on your platform. But it will just motivate you, to say, hey, I need to help the merchants solve this problem. Because if the merchants or the customer are willing to complain, right, they're giving you a chance. If they don't complain, it's worse. If they don't complain, it's like they're not interested in your no feedback. It's like going to a restaurant, you eat, no feedback, means you're not going back anymore.
Yep.
But if you go and you try, they say, hey, chef, today, the fish is a bit not fresh. Means at least the chef know that it's a feedback. And next time you come, you'll, hey, this guy, he loves fish and he's very particular about fish. And, he'll pay more attention. So I will say during my down days, I always try to look positive, like say how can we better serve the customer again.
More of a personal question as well, right? There's a very nice statement or phrase or saying, right? As the saying goes, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. So what's your circle like? I mean, are all your friends mainly entrepreneurs and serious professionals with a very similar passion?
I think I was lucky enough to start my career in the corporate world, starting from the banking industry, because I learned how to be professional in my work, and then of course I built a base of clients that trusted me. I built a base of working in a corporate environment is not only sometimes about your job, it's about like how you manage people, how you network with people and all. So that actually give me a lot of heads up, when I run a business, because when I start a business, I know like how to manage people. I know that I can't just, I need to manage people's expectation as well. So I would say if I will get to restart again, I will still start from a corporate job to get my foundation in terms of working with teammates, working with a boss, working with how to manage client relationship like a RM. So that's like the basic entry I think everyone should go through. Because when going through that, you will know how to manage business later. And then after that, when I move into the tech industry, I mingle a lot with entrepreneurs as well, because we share the same feeling. Like what you mentioned, like, do I have an up day, down day? Only an entrepreneur will understand that, like, hey, today I'm feeling down because my customer complained. And today, I'm happy is because, like, I hit a milestone. So I will say now my network of friends will be more like entrepreneur. more like willing to try new things, technology based. Yeah, so that's I think different phase of your life you will change.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, so I think it really depends on the different phases. But if I will get to advise anyone, I'll say corporate world first. You know,
Okay.
corporate world.
Okay.
Yeah, get your foundation right, and then move on to like businesses. Yeah.
Okay, then among these entrepreneurs, all your friends basically, and then let's just say, for example, you have a great idea and you want to get some feedback. And earlier on, you were also mentioning that even if you were to share the ideas and you're not afraid of people copying them in that light, so do you still have that fear that, oh man, this guy just might be I might lose the first mover advantage? Is there a sense of FOMO for you?
For me is I will never feel the FOMO of actually when I have an idea I always share with everyone, because two things. My perspective is very simple. People see the perspective of, okay, people will copy me, people will steal my idea, but my perspective is totally different. My perspective is I can lure talent, I can lure a partner in, a partner that is like-minded like me. They say, hey, he like this idea, he can join me.
So
At the
let's do
same
it
time,
together in that sense, lah.
yeah,
Since
do
I've
it
already got the
together.
foundation, you come in, we can build it up together.
Exactly. That's why I always say form the team first. So I always, when I see someone, I say, hey, this is my idea, blah blah blah. And then if this, he always say, hey, I'm the tech guy, I'm the marketing guy. I think I can help you. So that is better for me. So I'll rather share. And then
Right.
secondly, I like to share the idea, especially with industrial player as well, because from there I can validate whether my platform is good. Is it a pain point that I want to solve? And third, we actually strike partnership. Imagine like I'm starting a logistic business and I made a e-commerce entrepreneur. I can say, hey, I'm doing this. Can you give me some support by driving some parcel volume to my business? I think the approach of thinking about this is different. Like I think as an entrepreneur, first of all, you shouldn't be afraid of competition. Yeah, you shouldn't be afraid, because you need to execute, and when there's competitor, actually is a good thing, because it means that there's a market for it. That's why people wants to take that piece of pie and share a piece of pie. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think you're in a very, very good phase of your career. Like what you said, you've hustled enough. At the same time, looking back, what have you given up in those years, where other people are maybe partying and stuff like that? What have you given up, to reach where you are right now?
Yeah, I think first of all, I think it's a family time for sure. Like, I mean, I've been based in Central America for the last 6 months, and the first time I'm back. I think second thing, it's going into a different region, from like Asia to Central America. I have to start from zero in terms of culture, like network of friends. These are all have to be started from scratch. I'm not sure whether have you watched the show Emily in Paris.
Oh, not just yet.
Yeah. So it's the same feeling that I have when I go into a country. I don't speak Spanish at all, and all my partners, all my co-workers are speaking in Spanish. And then you're thinking like, hey, can you guys speak in English? Because I don't understand at all, But instead of that, I think you have to start to learn Spanish.
Yeah, habla inglés, por favor.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to like learn Spanish to really understand them, and also understand the culture as well. Yeah. Like, they are not like Asians, they are very receptive of technology. They are open, but they are not that receptive.
Right.
Yeah, so you need to understand that kind of speed. You cannot cannot apply whatever speed in Asia. Like when you introduce technology in Asia, everyone is grabbing it, like, hey, this is easy and everything. But in Central, is the people are very used to a certain way of doing things. Yeah, so I think two things, like family time, and also restart from zero when you go to a new place.
This is an extremely humbling experience, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And then of course, moving from Part and Parcel to OMNI is also one of a big opportunity as well, right? Because I've been running Part and Parcel since 2016. I've been spending like 4 years of my time, my hustling, building a business of 3 to where we are now in Part and Parcel. Is something that, the feeling like you do not want to give up, but again, On another hand, you know that starting OMI is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like you got caught in between. Like, like, hey, I have this business about this opportunity that I wanted to create.
You had to let go lah in that sense.
I have to let go part and parcel and hand over like the day-to-day operations to my founders, which is Brian and Gamo,
Yeah.
to run daily operations. And then now I have to move on to OMI to run kind of business.
Right.
Yeah.
So how does that differ right now for you as well? Like in the sense that are you still kind of a silent partner with Part and
Currently
Parcel?
I'm still a director and a shareholder of Part and Parcel. So I mean, like what I mentioned, I have a lot of feelings for the business. So we always founders also catch up to say, hey, what's the latest update? We share like high level kind of KPIs, like how many parcels we have crossed. We have secured new partners. In fact, we actually just moved into a 150,000 square feet warehouse for Part and Parcel. So I mean, these are all the high level updates that I get from my partners as well. So I'm always aware like how's the business and everything over the development in Part and Parcel as well.
And for yourself, right, about your work-life balance, I noticed that you've got either you've got a ton of energy and motivation, or you're just injecting coffee grounds into your blood right now. I don't know which it is, but how do you maintain your energy like day and night, just going on as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so I think first of all is you have to always do a to-do list. I always have a schedule, a to-do list, like every day, what are my priorities I need to do? Because I only have 24 hours and I need to, so definitely less than 24 hours. So I always prioritize what are the things that I need to clear. And then once I sit down, right, I'll just, okay, this is my to-do list. I need to clear before I look at this thing. So I think it's very important beforehand, you need to know what are your meetings, what are your to-do lists. So then when you start sitting down, right, you're not like, hey, now I have to figure out, or later I have a meeting at 2 or 3. I need to do this, I need to do that. When you sit down, hey, these are the to-do lists you need to do. Okay, I need to finish this. So you'll be very well planned, I would say. And then also learn to delegate. Yeah, learn to delegate, because a lot of entrepreneurs sometimes got very like sucked into either the operation, the day-to-day stuff, and they forgot about like growth. Like I'm not growing the business anymore. I'm just fixing problems that is operation. So you have to delegate some time this job to your team. Like let's say for example, like operation, you need to get operation managers to help you to look after the daily issues that have been surfacing. And then at the same time, as a operation guy, you have to say, hey, how can I do things that is better, faster? And not just get involved to solve one problem only.
Right.
You need to look at a very high level, like say, hey, I know there's a problem here. How can I decrease the problem and increase the efficiency? Yeah. So I think it's delegation is very, very important as well.
Right. So take me through how and when you start your week. Does your week start on a Sunday when you start planning a to-do list, or does it start at 9 a.m. when you hit the office, or 8 a.m. when you hit the office, or do you start off with a day through exercise or meditation? How do you do this?
Usually I start my week on Sunday, because on Sunday I start planning things on Monday, and Monday of course and Tuesday. So a day before. So my only break time is Friday night after 7, TGIF, and Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
So Sunday evening you start planning.
Yeah, Sunday evening I start planning. Hey, what I have meeting tomorrow, blah blah blah, or I have to do a reading before my Monday's meeting. So like by midday on Sunday evening, I need to start preparing for Monday.
Right.
Yeah, and then of course every morning, I'll try to wake up like 7 a.m. Just to go for a quick 30-minute jog. To keep myself awake and just get off the bed, just to feel remove the laziness and start working on it. And then of course I need some caffeine to boost me. Yeah, in the morning for sure. To get myself really motivated for the whole day. Yeah, so that's basically the routine that I have. And try not to have very heavy lunch, because once you have a lot of heavy lunch, basically the second half of the day you just feel very lethargic. You don't even feel like working that much. So usually I have a very I have heavy breakfast but light lunch. Yeah. Then of course dinner, you can have some drinks to chill the day out.
Yeah, and on that note, I would like to move on to the final segment of our podcast, which is the EPIC Questionnaire. So this is just a quick rapid fire session whereby I'll just ask a question and you just give me the first answer that you can. All right?
Okay.
So,
Sure.
Mr. Erik Cheong, are you ready?
Yes.
Question number 1. One word that you love the most.
One word that I love the most. Hustle.
Hustle. Hustle, right? Not hustler. Huh? Okay, can.
Yeah. Hustle. Yeah.
One word that you dislike the most.
I don't know.
I don't know. If you can have a conversation with one person, fictional, non-fictional, dead or alive, who would that be?
Jack Ma, always.
Jack Ma.
Always Jack Ma, yeah. Always. Yeah.
All right. And what do you say to yourself in the mirror every morning?
Work. Yeah. Yeah. Work harder. Yeah.
Work harder.
Yeah.
Name one superpower that you'd love to have.
Mind reading.
Mind reading.
Yes. Yes.
But why?
Yeah. Because when you go for meetings, you go for and etc. Right? Like I think the first thing is you need to really understand like where are people coming from. When you go especially go for a meeting, like you're just guessing like what the customer, what the partners are thinking. With that superpower, is going to be much easier. And I'm very a straightforward person. Like especially when I go to a meeting, right? I do not like to beat around the bush. Say, hey, this blah blah blah. I like to be more direct. If let's say we can strike a partnership, let's do it. And not like, hey, I'll think about it. I think there's possibility and etc. So I'm a very straightforward kind of a speaker. Like I want to ask, hey, do you want to do together? Let's move on. Like that's my style. So I think mind reading will help me save a lot of time and actually better understand someone.
And what is your favorite dish to eat?
My favorite dish, Singapore or Costa Rica or Central America?
Just of all time.
I like to eat laksa. Yeah.
Yeah, you still miss it, huh?
Yeah, I still miss it. So when I arrived, that's my first dish actually. Yeah, order laksa. That's my first.
What's your favorite travel spot?
Paris.
What does retirement look like to you?
Buy an island and be on the island and travel around the world.
So I'm assuming it's just buying the island and the yacht?
Yeah. So just get an island with my house, everything, and then do some plantation just with my loved ones. Yeah, that will be the best retirement I have. Probably get an island in Indonesia or maybe in Central America or the Caribbean area. Yeah.
Well, there's always Dubai.
Yeah. And of course, travel around the world. I think traveling is one of my key motivation as well, both from a work and personal as well. Because through traveling, you are able to see the different culture and also the different technology. I mean, for me, right, been to China, been to US, I can see like how like different businesses, different culture to like shape my thinking now here. Because I have seen enough to really understand.
How do you want to be remembered and what is your legacy?
To create a brand that everyone use it every day.
And that was the EPIC Questionnaire with Erik Cheong, the CEO of APAC for OMNI. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you do like this content, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Again, thanks so much to Erik for joining us. He's actually having SHN, stay home notice right now, flying back, and he's spending that time with us. So thanks so much again, Erik. Thank you so much for joining us this week on the EPIC Podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
No problem. And with that, everybody, hope you enjoy the content. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.